Alright, Halos, welcome back. How's everyone doing? We are back in the patch notes here. I know I'm a bit late here. I had some traveling I was doing and some stuff, just personal life happened. But yeah, we're back for the next patch notes. I know, like I said, I'm a bit late, but we're going to go straight into them. Patch 25.12 notes are here. We got the Uzi stuff with the Hall of Legends. Looks pretty sick. Yeah, welcome to the Hall of Legends Uzi. Alright, the Mad Dog himself. This is the patch notes overview, of course, the highlights. Hall of Legends. Okay, every year LoL Esports inducts a pro player into the Hall of Legends to honor their achievements within the sport and game. Players are chosen by an independent voting panel of esports industry veterans and experts from every region who select players based on criteria including international berths, international and regional titles, real specific stats, and overall contributions to the sport. So yeah, anyways, obviously Uzi's a legend. I know it's kind of controversial that it is him, but I think it's well deserved. He's pretty much the second most famous, I would say, in the esport history. Although newer players probably don't know him either at all or even slightly, or as well. But anyways, yeah, he was very famous, and I believe they have a little documentary almost that they made about him on I want to say the League of Legends YouTube channel, something like that. So yeah, definitely go check that out if you haven't already. I actually still haven't seen it, but I'm planning on watching it. I just wanted to find the time. Either way, we've got a Hall of Legends Battle Pass with 100 levels of unlocked rewards, looks like, and some stuff like that, so that sounds pretty cool. Upcoming Battle Pass improvements, some changes, how it can be acquired in 25.13 and going forward. Be able to attain the full Battle Pass XP with champions of your choice instead of the ones offered by mastery sets. Okay, cool. That's nice. Yeah, the mastery set was kind of rough, I think. But yeah, I mean, it's not a bad idea, just it's kind of hard. I personally have not even been able to touch the game for a while because I've just been so busy and just so many different things happening. So yeah, it's just hard to do. But yeah, it's interesting. Either way, it looks like they're changing how the Battle Pass works a little bit. Definitely pause to read if you're interested to do that. Your shop looks like it returned last patch, but no worries if you didn't catch it. The shop will be available until June 24th. Okay, so as of this recording, a few more days, but yeah, we've got that's been live for quite a while. So yeah, discounted stuff. Alright, first change, we got champions here. Aatrox, so passive Deathbringer stance, healing ratio versus champions was 80%, now it's 100%. Healing ratio versus minions was 20%, now it's 25%. So quite a bit extra healing, so that's pretty nice for him. And then Umbral Dash, champion damage healing ratio looks like it's getting buffed. The flat percentage is the same, but the scaling of plus was 0.9% per 100 bonus HP. Now it's 1.1% per 100 bonus HP. So, and that can stack pretty quickly, I would say. So yeah, pretty nice. A lot of healing going back to him, so that's big for Aatrox. I mean, that's his whole identity, the drain tank and stuff. All right, Ari is up next. We got E-Charm. Duration looks like it's getting nerfed slightly, especially at max rank. At rank 1 and 2 it's going to be not really noticeable. 3 still not really noticeable. 4 you'll start noticing it a little bit, and at 5 it'll be a little bit more noticeable. But yeah, it's nothing super crazy, I don't think, but yeah. Looks like some people were maxing E in Pro, so that's what they're going for to nerf it a bit. Okay, and then Spirit Rush cooldown looks like up 10 seconds at level 1, up 5 seconds at level 2, and up nothing at level 3. So just a little bit longer of a cooldown. This shouldn't really matter almost ever, unless you're using it on cooldown, and even then it's pretty much not a big deal, but yeah. Alright, it does seem like it's up pretty often, honestly, so I kind of appreciate them nerfing it at least a little bit, although it should probably get nerfed a bit harder. Although she isn't like, I don't think she's like super broken or anything, so maybe she doesn't need it, I don't know. Either way, Aphelios, level 1 attack speed is getting buffed here. Okay, base stats, so was 0.640, now it's 0.665. It's pretty decent. And then, yeah, that seems good. Severin, onslaught movement speed was 20%, now it's 25%, so about not too much different, but definitely a little bit extra. And then Calibrum, moonshot damage was 60 to 160, plus plus scaling's unchanged here, but yeah, it's basically up early, so it's now 70 to 160 instead of 60 to 160, so a little bit extra damage, especially early, but it scales to the same area. Alright, Aurora, base magic resist is up by 2, so that's 32 instead of 30. R between worlds, the damage is getting buffed here, so the flat's unchanged, but the scaling of AP scaling is 70% instead of 60%, so that's actually pretty decent. Yeah, pretty nice buffs for Aurora for sure. Udyr, movement speed was 335, now it's 330, so it's down by 5, but nothing super crazy. Attack speed per level is also down, was 6%, now it's 5.5%. Nothing super crazy really there either, but definitely some taps to nerf him. And then a Bard, we have base movement speed up by 5, so 330 was what it was, now it's 335. And then Belveth, Endless Banquet, her R, cast range was 275 flat, now it looks like it scales, but it starts lower. It looks like level matches E attack range. Interesting. Anyways, okay. I'm not sure why there's 4 here. She doesn't have 4 ranks of her ult, does she? I don't think so, but I could be wrong. Alright, anyways, it used to be 275 flat at all ranks. Now it's rank 1, I guess, 175, rank 2, 275, so it's the same as before. And then rank 3 is 375, and rank 4, I guess, is 450. It says matches E attack range. I'm not sure why there's 4 ranks of this, but maybe I'm missing something. Yeah, anyways, bug fix. Casting R no longer locks Belveth out of non-flash summoner spells. Interesting. Okay. Alright, Garen. Judgments. Let's see. Damage on his E. Okay, so it was 4, 8, 12, 16, and 20. Now it's 4, 7, 10, 13, and 16, so it's definitely down flat damage quite a bit. But nothing super crazy, I guess. And then the 80% scaling is, let's see, was 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, scaling up from 2 basically every rank. Now it's 36, 39, 42, 45, and 48. So yeah, instead of plus 2% gained at every rank, now it is plus 3% basically. That's what I'm saying. This will be a buff after 100 total AD is what it says, which is pretty early on, so yeah. Okay, so it's basically buffing the thing, so that's good for him. Bug fix. Armor shred is now properly extended by additional spins instead of occasionally falling to stack up if the remaining duration was low. Interesting. Okay. Alright, and Gwen is up next. So base health was 620, now it's 600 flat, and that's nothing crazy, but definitely something. W Hallowed Mist cooldown was 22 to 18, now it is 24 to 18, so it's just a little bit longer cooldown, especially early. On our W, that's fine. Jax is up next. Passive Relentless Assault, bonus attack speeds per stack was 3.5 to 11 based on level. 6 ranks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 ranks. And then now it is 5, 6.5, 8, 9.5, and 11, and 12.5 based on level. So it's literally just a buff at all ranks. But it looks like, well, actually no, it's, wait, is it? Hold on. Yeah, it looks like it's 1.5% bonus attack speed more at every rank, so that's pretty nice. Really nice for Jax actually. All right, cool, and that's per stack as well, so that even means a lot more, right? That's just the base. So this can stack up to, I think it's 6 times, if I'm not mistaken. I know they changed it around. It used to be like 8 stacks you could get, then it was 6, and it was like 5. But yeah, it stacks up pretty well. Anyways, Callista, base health getting nerfed here by 20 points, just like Gwen. So instead of 580, it's 560. And then Q Pierce, cooldown, it was 8 seconds, now it's 9 seconds. So a little bit of a nerf overall for Callista, but nothing really that insane, I don't think. Alright, LeBlanc, Ethereal Chains Damage flat is unchanged, but it looks like plus 5% extra AP on top. So it was 80% AP scaling, now it's 85%. Our mimic cooldown is getting lowered actually. So yeah, just nice buffs for LeBlanc pretty much. Was 50, 40, and 30 based on rank. Now her ult has a 45, 35, and 25 second cooldown based on rank. Alright, Elise E Tempest / Cripple. Cooldown was 9 seconds, now it's 8 seconds. That's really nice actually. Slow amount was 20 to 80% based on rank, and now it's 35 to 75%. So quite a bit more early, and then a tiny bit less late. But yeah, that's pretty nice for him. That's really, really nice for him. Mordekaiser, Q obliterate. So what do we have? It's got AP scaling and the flat damage are unchanged, but the scaling per level bonus was 80 to 200. Now it's 80 to 220. So it looks like just a little bit extra damage. So alright, yep, they're kind of compensate buffing because they nerfed, I'm assuming, Leandry's maybe? Or maybe it's Abyssal Mask, actually. I can't remember. Anyways, yeah, Nico. Q Blooming Burst was 80 to 260 plus 50% AP. Now it's 60 to 260. So less damage early especially, but once you max it, it's the same. Flat, and then plus 60% AP. So it's actually getting a buff of more scaling basically. So it's less strong early, stronger later, pretty much. So plus 60 AP scaling instead of plus 50%. And then W Shape Splitter. Bonus magic damage was 40 to 180, now it's 30 to 170, so down by 10 points at every rank. That makes sense. It was pretty strong actually. But alright, yeah, kind of sucks though, but overall she's fine, she's alright. Nidalee E Swipe in Cougar form. Looks like flat unchanged, bonus AD scaling up changed, but the percent HP or AP rather was plus 40%. Now it's 55%, so that's quite a bit of a buff on that, so pretty good for her. Rammus up next. We got his base stats. What do we have? Sorry, base armor growth down by 5, armor growth down by 1 point, and level 1 attack speed was 0.656, now it's 0.7, pretty nice actually. Base attack damage is 65 instead of 55. Whoa, okay. So they're like, yeah, they're just kind of mini reworking Rammus, it looks like. Okay. This seems pretty nice. Like, really nice. Okay, passive Spike Shell. Removed Rammus basic attacks no longer gain 10 armor. Increased by 50% plus 10% armor. 10 plus 10% armor. Increased by 50% during W, magic damage on hit. Oh, okay, so it doesn't get the magic damage on hit anymore. It definitely sucks. Okay, let's see. Rammus now gains 15% of his total armor and magic resist as bonus AD. Oh, okay. That's interesting. That's interesting. Okay. Interesting. Alright. Kind of shifting things around there. Q Powerball. Damage was 80 to 200, now it's 80 to 240, so a little bit extra damage, especially later. Smooth moves. Powerball no longer locks Rammus out of casting his E for approximately 0.375 seconds after colliding with an enemy. Huh, okay. So I guess you can Powerball into pressing E immediately or something. That's interesting. W defensive ball curl. Duration 6 was the old seconds, now it's 7 seconds for the cooldown, or no, for the duration, sorry. Duration, so it's longer duration, that's pretty good. Duration on a basic attack. W's duration is no longer increased on basic attacks. Oh, okay, that's why. So kind of a nerf, actually, I would say. Bonus armor, 40 plus 35 to 75% total armor based on rank. Now it's 27 flat, so a lot lower, and then plus 30 to 60% total armor. Okay, so that's just a big nerf overall. Bonus magic resist was 10 plus 30 to 50% total magic resist. Now it's 27, so that's a big buff. Plus 30 to 60% total magic resist. So they're kind of just making it the same, but nerfing the armor a lot and buffing the magic resist a lot. So they kind of equalized a bit. more. Actually, exactly equalized, yeah. Okay. That's pretty nice for him, actually. Reflected damage was 15 plus 50% of total armor. Now it's 15 plus 10% of total armor plus 10% of total magic resist. Okay, so that seems like it would be better overall. Maybe I'm wrong. Dragon damage. Nemesis W now properly reflects damage from dragons' basic attacks. Same for Thornmail. Okay. Tooltip improvements. So W's tooltip now more clearly states how much armor and MR will be gained from the ability. W's tooltip is no longer blank when the ability is active and will now show the amount of damage returned. Oh, that's cool. Alright, that seems pretty nice actually for his W, although it's definitely a bit of a nerf in some regards. Alright, E Frenzying Taunt. Attack speed. E no longer provides Ramus with 20 to 40% bonus attack speed. Damage to monsters. E now deals 80 to 160 plus 70% AP to monsters on cast. Note this ability does not deal damage to champions. Okay. So he's losing all that attack speed, but he does monster camps a little bit better. Quite a bit better, I guess. Interesting. Alright. R. Soaring Slam. That is pretty nice, actually. Not gonna lie. Let's see. Cooldown was 90 flat. Now it's 120 to 90 based on rank. Initial damage was 100 to 250. Now it's 150 to 350, so a lot extra damage on the initial damage. And then epicenter damage. R no longer deals 50% bonus damage at the center of the impact. Oh, okay. Aftershock damage removed. R no longer deals 20 to 40 damage on aftershocks, plus 10% AP. Okay, whoa. Slow was 15 to 20% per stack, up to 60 to 80%. Now it's 30 to 50%, no longer stacks. Oh, okay, so yeah, it got more, like, progressively slower the more time you were in it, basically, in the zone. But now it just gets the more kind of, not as much, but gets more, like, early, but it doesn't stack. Okay, and then quality of life improvement. Ramus can now powerball soar even if Ramus is on top of an enemy if Soaring Slam is cast quickly enough. Okay, interesting. And then Q quality of life improvement. Retimed R's animation to play the full animation over the dash. Bug fix. R no longer breaks its animation and fails to deliver Powerball if they are cast too quickly together. Fix the bug where R's animation bugged out at short ranges. Okay. Overall, it seems pretty nice, actually, I would say. But it's definitely a bit of a shift. Quite a bit of a shift. In like his power, so we'll see how it turns out. It seems like it would be pretty good, but we'll see. Alright, R Rumble. So I don't know why I said R. Q Flame Spitter. Total magic damage looks like flat is unchanged, AP scaling is unchanged, but the percent of target's max health is getting nerfed, especially later in rank. That's fine. And then Electro Harpoon. Slow is getting nerfed here by about 5% at every rank, looks like. That's fine. Enhanced Slow is also getting nerfed, it looks like about 7.5 points at every rank. Yeah, it looks like. So I think that's fine. And then Samira, what do we have? Passive Daredevil Impulse. Style bonus move speed stacks, or move speed per stack was 2 to 3.5%. At max stacks it was 12 to 21. Now it's 2.75 to 3.5, so 16.5 to 21. So it's a little better early, especially, seems like. Alright. Q Flare. Damage was 0 to 20 plus 95 to 125% AD. Now it's 5 to 25, so that's a little better. Plus 5 points at every rank flat. Plus 95 to 125, so the scaling's unchanged. So it's just a little bit of buff kind of early game, it seems. So alright, cool. Senna. Soul drop chance per minion kill. Yes. Oh no. Oh, that's bad. Okay, well they've so if you get the minion kill, it's now 10% instead of 14. So that's really bad. So they're nerfing ADC Senna again. That sucks. They just buffed it too. So that feels really bad. Alright, well, okay, that sucks. That's a really bad decision, I think. Not good for Senna at all. Alright, unlucky. Okay, Shin is up next. E Shadow Dash. The damage was 60 to 160 plus 15% bonus HP rather. Now it's 60 to 160 and then plus 11% bonus HP rather. So they're just nerfing the damage on the HP because it scales with his HP, so it's not going to be as much damage basically on his E. Still be a good amount, just not as much. And then Talia, base magic resist down by 2 to 28 instead of 30, and then Q for threaded volley was empowered damage was 190%, now it's 180%, so quite a bit less, but nothing super crazy at the same time. Twisted Fate, E stacked deck, bonus attack speed is getting buffed again, nice, let's go. 10 to 50%, now it's 15 to 55%, so pretty good. And then our Destiny cooldown was 180 to 120, now it's 160 to 100, so just down by 20 seconds at every rate. Pretty good for him. No, not good for anyone else, but yeah, pretty good for him. Varus, base armor went from 27 to 24, so quite a bit of a nerf there actually. A lot squishier for sure. W denting blows, so target max health damage was 4 to 10% plus 2.857% bonus AD. Okay, and now it is 4 to 8%, so same early, but it gets worse as it scales, or you put points in that, I guess. Now it's 3.5% bonus AD though. Oh, okay, well actually, I don't know. Yeah, if you're building AD, it's better for sure, but okay, interesting. Bonus attack speed was 30 to 60%, now it's 30 to 50%, so a little bit nerf there. And then E Relentless Force, bonus damage was 0 to 60 plus 120% AP or AD plus 100% AP. Now it's 10 to 90, so that's quite a bit better, flat, and then plus 110% of AD, which is not as good. And then okay, so they're kind of moving things around a little bit. They want people to bring max E more than W, it seems. Kind of switching things around. Like, it's not necessarily a nerf, but it is definitely a nerf in some parts for sure. But yeah, it seems like an overall nerf, but it's just kind of changing things around a little bit. Alright, Yorick is up next. Passive Shepherd of Souls. Mistwalker attack speed was 0.5 plus 100% of Yorick's bonus attack speed. Now it's 0.5 plus 8 to 80% attack speed. Interesting. We're reducing the power of his early power spike and lightly returning some of that power into his Mistwalkers very late into the game. Okay. Alrighty. And then Q last rights damage was 30 to 130. Now it is 30 to 110 flat. So a little bit of nerfs there for sure. Zeri, lightning crash on her R. So look, damage was 175 to 375 plus 85% bonus AD. Now it is 200 to 400, which is a little bit better. It's like 25 points flat at every rank, and then now it's plus 100% bonus AD, which is quite a bit better. And then chain lightning damage was 30% of AD. Now it's 40% AD. That's pretty big actually. I would say overall it's pretty nice, pretty large nerfs or buffs rather for Zeri. Okay, interesting. And then Grasp of the Undying, ranged effectiveness was 60% to now it's 40%. Okay, so yeah, it's just wait. Yeah, it's just a lot worse for ranged champions. Makes sense. Alright. And then Otacon, we're retuning Otacon's spawn logic in order to make top lane versus bot lane spawns more equitable, as he currently spawns in bot lane too often in bot lane relative to top. Dragon, all dragon basic attacks now trigger on-hit events. Thornmail, defensive wall curl. For example, dragon dodges, all dragon basic attacks now respect dodge. Okay, nice. Yep, so like Jax and stuff. Okay, cool. ARAM. Okay, this is ARAM changes. If you want to pause to read that or go to the link in the description to read it, feel free. Doesn't look like too much that time. There's some brawl changes here. Alright. Interesting. Clash is coming up. Yeah, in the next couple days, actually, as of this recording. Position binding and swift play champ select. Following from normal and rank queues, position binding has been added to swift play. Swift play for pre-game and in-game consistency with all Summoner's Rift position rules. Okay. Yep. ARAM champ swap. Got feed that the new ARAM champ swap model is not as straightforward as the old one you all love, so we're removing the extra click involved in swapping since there's only one option. Now you can save that extra click for in-game. Wait, what? Removing the extra click involved in swapping since there's only one option. Oh. What? Interesting. Okay. Bug fixes and quality of life changes. Yep. All of that. Definitely pause to read that if you're interested, but without further ado, that's pretty much the end of patch notes. We've got the Hall of Legends skins. It looks like some Ink Shadow skins as well. Looks kind of interesting. I'm still looking for that Spirit Blossom Xin Zhao skin that I'm expecting pretty soon. Maybe it won't happen though. I don't know. But yeah, alright. Looks like pretty cool. Definitely check out all that stuff if you guys haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next patch notes. I'll try to get it more on time if possible, but I have a bunch of stuff happening pretty soon here as well, so month's just going to be kind of packed all around. But either way, thank you all for watching it once more, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.